What was the reaction of your families when you told them that you wanted to marry each other?
My dad really just didn't like it. He didn't like it from the perspective of Jamaican and American. So I dealt with racism not based on just color, but based on culture. No matter what I did, no matter what my conversations were, it was hell no.
Well, growing up, I grew up in a town that there were really no black people in our town. I didn't tell my mom and dad about him right away because fear gripped my heart. So I hid it from them for a while. And then when I finally told them, I said, I've met this young man, and my dad's like, I'm really worried about you marrying someone of a different race. Someone of a different color. Will people accept you? You travel to churches and you do ministry and things like that. Maybe people won't accept you. When I left Minnesota to move to Virginia Beach, I told my dad, I love you with everything in my heart, but I'm gonna marry this man. I love him. And so we dated, and our dating time was probably about 3 years. We set one wedding date and ended up canceling it.
Yep.
I talked to my dad every other day. We didn't have cell phones back then, or not ones that you could have unlimited minutes. But I talked to him, and I told him, I said, Dad, I'm living my life right. I'm working in the church. I'm doing all these things, and I want you to come to our wedding. I want you to come and sit down and talk to Jimmy. I want your blessing. He came to our wedding. He walked me down the aisle.
Yep.
A lot of things happened to us before we ever got married. Some really tough things. And as I was standing waiting to walk down the aisle, my dad said, if you don't forgive, I won't walk you down this aisle. Unforgiveness will ruin your heart. And he said, forgive by faith if you have to. But if there's anyone you haven't forgiven for the things that have happened, God stepped in a way and changed him, and he treated Jimmy until he died. He treated Jimmy like a son.
It was very difficult not having my parents at my wedding. It was extremely difficult because even with sending them plane tickets and sending them information and saying, you don't have to pay, we will provide for you to come and be in our wedding, they refused to come. And that was more hurtful because I realized that it was bigger. It was actually bigger than just me saying, Dad, I'm marrying this woman. And there was a bigger problem that was seated and rooted in my parents. Well, I can tell you the end of that story is today I have a great relationship with my parents. My dad has cried multiple times. He's cried in our home. He's cried when we went to Jamaica and said, we made a mistake. Can you please forgive us? And just like Cindy said, I already forgave them. So it wasn't like them telling me that they're sorry now made it better. When you forgive somebody, you don't empower them to help you. You empower yourself.